much material. I think I need to really put it in a book. And it was from that discussion that led to say what I'm saying in Aging Out Loud. Be confident. You have earned your years. You have earned your stripes. You've earned your epaulette. Be bold. Stand up.
Hello and welcome to Stargazing, the show that brings you up close and personal with your favorite stars of reggae and dancehall music, Jamaican popular culture, and people who've impacted society in a very big way. I'm Shaun Cain. We invite you to subscribe to the Stargazing with Shaun Cain YouTube channel, like and share the videos, and leave a comment. We welcome our radio listeners in the UK on Rex Radio, in the USA on Motif Radio and Viscosity Blend, and in Jamaica on Richie B Radio. In this edition of the show, we'll speak with Mother Miranda, a Jamaican Anglican priest currently serving in British Columbia in Canada. Mother Miranda, welcome to the galaxy of the stargazing.
It is such a joy to be here. I have listened to some of your presentations, especially while driving up to church on a Sunday morning. You would have recorded yours long before, right. And it has really been so refreshing.
Right. Well, it's really nice to talk to you, Mother Miranda. You know, we've talked on the phone so many times, but to see you in the flesh now, you know, it's nice. It's refreshing.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm excited to see you too.
And you're looking so.
How many miles away? Sorry.
You're looking so resplendent in your.
Oh, thank you. I prepared for the show.
Well, it's good to see you made an effort.
I did.
Yeah, but Mother Miranda, I gather that. You know, the world has been slowly moving away from God and things of God. I don't know. That's just kind of my observation. How do you see that observation? What do you make of that? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you somewhat agree? Do you somewhat disagree? Where are you on that?
Well, Shaun, I believe that the home is the place where formation begins. And that formation for me takes me back to my own home setting, where I grew up in a Christian family. And by that, I mean that we were given certain values that we had to uphold. Going to church helped in that process, because the little stories that were told, the David and Goliath, the Zacchaeus who was short and climbed up in a tree, and the morals behind these, and to be cared for, we got those as the grounding. And I believe that we don't have to beat people over the head with a Bible to say, come to church. I believe church, first and foremost, is where morals, principles, guidelines are set. And therefore, as young people grow up, they become young adults. As children grow up, they become young adults. And then now they become world leaders. And the base that they would have gained in the church would have helped them in their decision making. I had a life before ministry, so I'm able to weave in my own personal experiences. I'm able to identify with people more where they are, even by way of sitting at their bedside, even by way of visiting in the hospital. My approach seemed to be appreciated. Again, it's based on the response. And the only thing that I attribute that to, yes, my own home bringing and upbringing, and the fact that I've had several different experiences in Jamaica while I was in full-time jobs in various locations, in the corporate as well as in the public sector.
Corporate. Well, we'll explore that in a little bit. Corporate. But was saving souls for Christ always a dream of yours, or did you just kind of drift into it?
The church has always been my life. I mean, I was saying to someone recently that I grew up in a home that was the first rectory attached to the church. And when the church decided to purchase a home at another location, they rented that to my mother, the rectory. So I have been in contact with the spirits of centuries ago at St. Luke's Balaclava in St. Elizabeth. And then the church was just next door. So these were just across the fence relationship. So when mom couldn't find me, I was at the church. Bishop William Murray, he was suffragan bishop in Mandeville, again of blessed memory. He, on one of his episcopal visits to St. Luke's Balaclava, I see him now and I just recall the conversation in his own unique voice. He said, Miranda, I believe you have the call for the ministry. This was at 18.
What did you
And
did you think this man? Oh God, what is he thinking? Is he, he needs to go and pray or something? I mean, what were you thinking at that point? Because probably you were just thinking like any young girl at 18. Well, I'm just going to go and find the world,
it
see the
wasn't
world, meet people and everything. But for this man to be telling me that I'd be stuck in the church because that's where my calling is. Hey, what did you make of that?
it wasn't far-fetched because in those days, um, and I tell you this, which a lot of persons have not heard from me, is I experienced a discernment of celibacy from my teenage years. Yes, I thought I needed to give myself purely to Christ. And so getting into relationships and marriage and all that entails, it would mess up with who I was. So he wasn't far from where I believe my heart was. And today I am a single person and just enjoying just the beauty of just being alone for Christ. So I said it's full circle. I don't know what else God has for me, but I have two grown children and I'm a grandma of two now. And I'm just all things church these days.
So that celibacy bit, it didn't quite hold out.
It didn't quite hold out because there came this gentleman. I was working at the Balaclava Comprehensive High School at the time in 19. I started my first job in 1976, and I think by 1977 he swept me off my feet. Yeah.
And you forgot all about your promise.
I kept the promise till there, and as life changes, then I recalled just being alone, desirous for relationship again, which never worked out, and then I had a big laugh with God when He said, "So you're back where I told you you should have been years ago."
Resisting a little bit, getting a little bit wayward, going off track a bit. But then,
Going off track, yes, yes,
then
yes.
it is the whale or what that brought you back.
Yes, it's a whale. I remembered as you talk about the whale, uh, it was Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller. She was Minister of Tourism at the time when the Secretaries Association visited with her, and we asked. This was in 1998. We asked if it was my question to her, would she become a prime minister in Jamaica? And her response was, it depends on where the whale will let her out.
So she was all about the whale as well.
She was all about the whale.
The
She
whale.
was all about the whale as well. And here you are. That whale. That whale.
That whale. We'll have to do something about that whale, Mother
Mhm.
Miranda. That
That
whale.
whale.
it seems quite elusive, that will, but we'll try and see if we can net it. You know,
Yes.
that will, of
Got a net.
course, even
It has been netted. It has been netted in and through
people are
me.
going
And
about
so
their
here I am in Canada.
Yes, sorry to talk away there, Mother Miranda. People are
Sorry.
going about their business. They've got their plans and dreams, but this whale from nowhere just comes in, swallows them, and spits them out somewhere else where that
And
will
spit them out somewhere else. And in fact, I mean, and it is the swallowing that is frightening. So I prepared for ministry in Jamaica while I was working full time. So we'd go off on weekends for 5 years into Hillcrest in St. Anne's, and and so after that ordination, I so during the call to ministry was during a church. By this time, I had left St. Luke's Balaclava, age 24, and was living in Kingston and married, having children, and all of that. And the call to ministry came when Church of Reconciliation had a retreat. And I just felt that burning desire in my soul. I said, this feels like it. And the facilitator was a Father Anthony, who himself went on to become a Roman Catholic priest. He said, Miranda, you should have been in the ministry over 20 years ago. Yeah, so they have been tracking me. They have been tracking me. Here was this African bishop at 18, and now here he is speaking to me. I think it could have been in my 30s. Yeah, saying you should have been there over 20 years ago. Because after Sunday school, then was youth fellowship, and it was a time in Jamaica when we had youth rally in the different parishes. So we covered the entire Jamaica through youth rally and engage in schools to provide their classrooms for different workshops. It was just great.
But you know what? You picked a good church, Mother Miranda, because I remember I grew up in Church of God of Prophecy, and our
Yes.
Sunday school would start at 10 o'clock in the morning. But there's a lady that used to live up about 5 houses away from where I lived. Her name was Miss Ketty. When we were going to Sunday school, she was coming from church. And I thought, oh, that is so handy, because our church would go on way up until about 3 o'clock.
I know.
So we
Not
got
to mention the Seventh-day Adventist Church down in Union. They spend the entire day. I remember that growing up as
I just
children.
think it's so handy
Yeah.
to finish service at 9 o'clock.
We had 9 o'clock because we in Balaclava, we shared a priest. So we
Right.
had what was called Rector Sunday, first and third Sundays. And the priest there was Hewitt Gordon that I grew up with, and there was Hollis Lynch. And then the priest would go second and fourth to other churches. And
So
at that time,
at the
they
time,
had to cover 7 different churches spanning 3 parishes. And I remember our rector, Hollis Lynch, at the time, he ensured that at Easter and Christmas, he went to all 7 of them, starting like 11 o'clock in the night and cutting across St. Elizabeth and Manchester and the tip of St. James. Yes.
you're tuned to the Stargazing with Shaun Cain Show, and we're speaking with Mother Miranda. And she is a Jamaican Anglican priest who's currently serving in British Columbia in Canada. We'll be back in just a moment.
For the most dependable videographer specializing in funeral coverage, photo packages and live streaming in Jamaica on Facebook and YouTube, call James Video Production in Port Antonio, Portland via WhatsApp on 1-876-278-0071. James Video Production understands how important it is to capture and preserve the homegoings of your loved ones. For that reason, they're always on time, no matter the location. And if you are nervous about presenting your loved one's eulogy at the funeral, or even unsure about how to put one together, there's no need to worry. At James Video Production, we offer professional eulogy writing and eulogy reading services to make the funeral even more reassuring and memorable. James Video Production is happy to discuss your needs. Call today via WhatsApp on 1-876-278-0071. James Video Production, always there for you.
Nice time, Jamaica tours with Shaun.
There is so much you can do in Jamaica. To help you make the most of your Jamaican holiday, book today with Nice Time Jamaica Tours. We provide airport transfers, excursions and tours in Jamaica in air-conditioned comfort and style. If you are coming to Jamaica by cruise ship, be sure to book in advance. While you are in Jamaica, you have to visit the world-famous awe-inspiring 7 Mile Beach in Negril, a huge stretch of white sandy beach and clear blue waters in the warm Caribbean sunshine. Just dive, swim or bask your day away. Intermittently, have a refreshing cocktail at the Pelican Bar in the sea. You can top it off with a relaxing visit to the world-famous Rick's Cafe, where you can see the sunset. As its last smile of the day fills the evening sky with a rich and unforgettable glow, the chance is yours to behold this massive ball of illumination as it slowly and gently climbs down behind the horizons and disappears. To make your dream a reality, call your personal tour guide Shaun today on 1-876-390-9104 or visit nicetimejamaicatours.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok at Nice Time Jamaica Tours. Nice Time Jamaica Tours, helping you to create beautiful memories forever. Stargazing with Shaun Cain brings you up close and personal with your favorite stars of reggae and dancehall music and people that have impacted society in a very significant way. We invite you to subscribe to the Stargazing with Shaun Cain YouTube channel, like and share our videos, and leave a comment as we bring you fresh content every week. The Stargazing with Shaun Cain Show will inspire, educate, and bring out the best in you. Stargazing with Shaun Cain, up close and personal.
2x10 man, I move real fast, yeah? This is the boy Master Record, the girls them checker. You're watching the Stargazing Show with Shaun Cain, up and personal. 2x10 man, I move real fast.
Welcome back. You're tuned to the Stargazing with Shaun Cain Show, and we're speaking with Mother Miranda. And she is a Jamaican Anglican priest currently serving in British Columbia in Canada.
So,
Mother Miranda, I know you've done quite a bit of work in the church, but you hinted earlier about working in corporate Jamaica and in the corporate, business area and that sort of thing. I'm curious to find out, what did you do before assuming leadership in the Anglican Church? That kind of role.
right. So I went to St. Elizabeth Technical High School, and after that, after graduation, I worked at the Balaclava Secondary School at the time, and I spent 5 years there, Ministry of Education, and I desired more. And I remember saying that I would be going off to Church Teachers College, which was an Anglican college at the time, or I would seek to find new employment in the city, Kingston. By this time, my girlfriend, I never forget her, Angela Jones, she was heading off to Kingston, and she's now living in Canada. And I said, no, I'm not coming to Kingston because I am scared, what you hear coming out of Kingston. This was 76. But here I was now, where ambition called, where progress called, where a new life, having examined my life that this was not what I wanted to be, to retire at a secondary school in the office. I started out as typist clerk, and I moved up to secretary to the principal, Dundee Hewitt. And I know I was a part of the community activities. I was exposed to United Nations of Association of Jamaica through Dundee Hewitt because he had connections in Mandeville. But I wanted more. And so I applied for jobs. I applied to Jamaica International Telecommunications Limited and also telephone company. They both interviewed me. No, they both invited me to an interview. I opted for Jamaica, and they offered me the job. So here, the young girl was off into Kingston. Yes.
That's
And of course, I went straight to stay with a church army sister. Yes. And so after that, so I spent years at Jam until it became cable and wireless, and it became TOJ. All sorts of changes took place. The first year I came there was ticket line because of union negotiations and all of that. In later years, I became a union delegate. Yes. And I did a lot of sports at Jam Intel. So that, of all the companies, Jam Intel, TOJ, Cable and Wireless formed me. I moved up in the secretarial field and became senior secretary. Then I became executive secretary. And then I became personal assistant. Right. Yeah. So I pursued these jobs. And so I worked with the senior vice president finance for 13 years. So all of 22 years I spent at Cable and Wireless. So during that time, though, I completed all my studies. So I did a management studies degree, certificate. Then I moved on to psychology and international relations. I wanted to become an ambassador, a government ambassador. But Jamintel and Cable Wireless, they were paying such high salary that to leave there to go to work in government.
It would have been hard. It would have
It would have been.
been
It would have been
financial
hard.
injustice.
Yeah, so I stayed there and I qualified myself along the path. Did the executive masters in business administration with FIU. And then I remember I applied for a job to now move into management. And they said to me, the EMBA is a specific degree. What is your specialty? And I said, oh my God, what am I going to do now? And I loved human resource development. So I went back and did a second master's. I got a human resource development master's degree. And so all of that is history. I just kept studying, but then I began to pour all of my studies into training and development. So I was working as well at Duff's Business College. For many years, I did the executive secretarial studies there and accounting. And they invited me back to teach accounting. But my dear friend now, Sybil Grandis, said, I believe Miranda would do better at charm and personality development. So I became that teacher. Satnarine Ricketts was my teacher. I think she lives in the States now. I spoke with her recently. And I learned from her. And as I taught that course, 60, sometimes 70 students in the classroom. Yes, it was wonderful. I would love to know where all those students are now.
Mother Miranda, that was really an inspirational talk, our first segment of this presentation here. But in addition to a priest, I know that you're an author. You hinted earlier that you wanted to publish your book of poetry, but you've already published books before this, or at least another book before this. Tell me a little bit about that book that you published before, or any other books that you've done before.
Okay, so my first publication was Healing Emotions with Love and Prayer. And that was targeted for young people. Coming out of, I mentioned earlier on that I established Institute of Protocol and Etiquette. And we had a segment in that 30-hour training which invited parents of these students to attend a session and to give voice to the children, to their parents, as to how they feel about them and what they want to tell them in a safe space. That experience was very eye-opening for me, because I remember some of them saying how parents were treating them as helpers and how it was just so bad. They were supposed to sit with their parents, sit on their laps, hugging them. Some could not do that. Some could not do that. And with tears flowing down their eyes. And I had to have a counselor when I discovered that this was a little bit more than I bargained for. And I remember one mother saying that, but I'm busy. I have a lot of meetings to attend. And not hearing that she was really traumatizing her daughter. There's another, again, I said that parents and children, some just could not hug. And I realized that these are young people, these are teenagers, and they were so affected in the home setting. There's another mother, I remember she had a single child, and the young girl was saying she was just sick and tired of every time she gets out of the house, her mother would be calling her on the phone several times. And they were at it. She's saying, but you're my only child. And then the young girl was saying, but I'm at a teenage mom, I'm 18. Trust me. And so the book was born out of that. I'm always responding where I see a need. Healing Emotions with Love and Prayer. And that book generates a lot of questions in the very beginning, questions that the children would want to ask, but then they would be labeled. So instead of them asking the question, read the book and respond to the questions that are in the book. Yes?
Okay, and that would help the parents to respond to the children and communicate a bit.
It would help both parents and teachers. Mm-hmm. Right.
And you continue that vein of speaking for those who you considered probably didn't have a voice or no one was listening to. Because only recently you published Aging Out Loud.
Aging Out Loud once again. So there's a thread, have you identified it, that I am seeking out, hence my poetry. My poetry is speaking for the voiceless. And the book Aging Out Loud, which is this book,
very pretty.
Aging Out Loud. Live fully, lead with wisdom, flourish spiritually. This is a voice for seniors who do not themselves know now how to speak their voice, how to speak their truth, or even recognize that they have a truth to speak about. And so I was excited when I put this book together. Fast forward to where I am now with the book. I am completing my master's in divinity, and I had to do a context paper. And I said, what can I do? And I said, look in the church and find something to do. And I said, we have a lot of seniors that just come to church and they go home. If they're in a men's group, it's the objectives of the men's group. If they're in a women's group, it's the objectives of the women's group. These are the objectives that they respond to, but they have personal needs. How can I touch them where they are? That led me to identify that there's a gap in the church. And I wondered, how could I get into this aging business, this gerontology business, to speak to that? And I decided to do a pilot workshop. And that also, just like Institute of Protocol and Etiquette, blew my mind. Adults were shedding tears as they looked back and identify some of their regrets that they're carrying. And I'm saying, this is an avenue to help them to release that. One person talked about being so caught up in the corporate world, and her son was left with the helper. And she only knew when she saw online that the helper was having birthday parties for her son, and she was out. Yeah. And an 80-year-old said to me, thank you so much for this workshop. because I thought I was at the end of the rope, but you have given me hope just by what you have shared today. Another one said that this is positive.
You lengthen the rope a little bit.
But lengthen the rope and to let them understand that aging is a sacred journey. It's not the end of something. You reach at the end of an edge. You reach at the edge and you fall off. It's a continuous journey. And so this is what I got the aha moment to say, have these workshops. And then, having decided to have the workshop, I was sharing with a girlfriend of mine who said, I need to put you in touch with somebody who is so powerful. I won't call the person's name, who asked me the question, so Miranda, where is your book? With all of what you're sharing with me, where is your book? Shaun Cain asked me, where is your book? And I said, I have so much material. I think I need to really put it in a book. And it was from that discussion that led to say what I'm saying in Aging Out Loud. Be confident. You have earned your years. You have earned your stripes. You've earned your epaulette. Be bold. Stand up. And to therefore invite the world through the church and through communities, because there are the unchurched persons, there are the church persons. And so you tweak the language a little bit because you're not really preaching to them. And so it is to everybody, it is to the 866 million seniors around the world that my work is about now. There are many, many books about gerontology and about aging. I am talking directly to these persons where they are physiologically that they don't even understand. And some persons call it antisocial when there are changes taking place in their bodies. And they need to understand that their caregivers would be pushing them sometimes beyond their own limit, and the caregivers do not understand. And so I'm in this space to give voice and to get persons to say, oh, thank you so much. It is clearer now for me. And also for us to be patient. Of course, many persons want to be on a hype, especially in some churches. But when you have seniors, you can't sing the song so fast. You've got to go at their pace. You can't sing all 6 verses of a hymn because you have to look at the demographic, who you have in front of you.
They have to adapt. They have to adapt.
You've got to be adaptive. And some seniors don't go to church because the bathrooms are so far in some places. And so by the time they desire to free themselves, it takes too long to get there. They might not have enough bathroom. They have to stand and be waiting. And you know what can happen in that delay.
By the time Mother Miranda, in education, there is a fancy term that they're using now, and they call it adaptive teaching.
Adaptive teaching. So thank you. So we need to do now adaptive church, adaptive preaching. So I one of the things that I talk about is that as priests we were trained to go in and you deal from birth to death. But in decades past we have had longevity, and now in decades past clergy would bury the members much quicker because they would die much quicker. Now they are living longer. Mm-hmm. They're not trained to deal with them in this longevity. So the seminarians and the seminaries have to now address that in a way that the sermons must be preached now to the Annas and the Simeons who had the messianic story when Jesus was presented in the temple. These old people were just going into the temple. They were active. They knew the work of the temple and why they were there. But they also had the discerning eye to see that this is the Messiah. And they were able to speak to that. Now, we can't be preaching a one-size-fits-all sermon.
You're tuned to the Stargazing with Shaun Cain Show, and we're speaking with Mother Miranda. And she is a Jamaican Anglican priest who is currently serving in British Columbia in Canada. We'll be back in just a moment.
Stargazing with Shaun Cain brings you up close and personal with your favorite stars of reggae and dancehall music and people that have impacted society in a very significant way. We invite you to subscribe to the Stargazing with Shaun Cain YouTube channel, like and share our videos, and leave a comment as we bring you fresh content every week. The Stargazing with Shaun Cain Show will inspire, educate, and bring out the best in you. Stargazing with Shaun Cain, up close and personal. Are you heading to Jamaica for a short stay and need convenient accommodation away from the hustle and bustle of the city? The warm and inviting Williams Family Home Airbnb is a spacious and comfortable two-bedroom short stay accommodation nestled in quiet Windsor Castle, Portland, located within easy reach of Boston and Frenchman's Cove sand beaches, the Rio Grande, home of the world-famous Rio Grande rafting attraction, and Jamaica's Blue Mountains National Park, a World Heritage Site. The Williams Family Home provides elegant and comfy beds, ensuite bathroom with hot water, a large and cozy living room, modern air conditioning, washing machine, cooking and dining facilities, Wi-Fi, flat screen TV with access to Netflix and Disney Plus and other channels, free parking and security cameras on premises for your privacy and peace of mind. Forget your cares and enjoy your deserved break in very peaceful surroundings. You can stay at the Williams Family Home Airbnb for one night, a few nights, a whole week, or even longer. To secure this quiet and comfortable short stay accommodation at one of the most competitive rates, check availability and book now at airbnb.co.uk. The Williams Family Home Airbnb, your relaxing home away from home.
Hey yo, it's me, your truly Fitzroy Lee 123, inviting you to check out Stargazing with Shaun Cain. Anywhere you're there in the world, Stargazing with Shaun Cain. Stargazing, it's amazing. Keep it blazing, Shaun. Hot water, hot water, hot water.
Welcome back. You're tuned to the Stargazing with Shaun Cain Show, and we're speaking with Mother Miranda. And she is a Jamaican Anglican priest currently serving in British Columbia in Canada. But Mother Miranda, I remember talking to you, I came across the term, I couldn't even call it. I had to go away, break it down into syllables, sliced it up, and to the point where, it just rolls off the tongue now. So I want you to tell me a little bit about that term. It's Theogerotranscendence. Wow.
Theogerotranscendence, of course.
Did I get that right?
Yes, you got it right. So here, again, the creative juices that flow in me flowed around the development of that term. As I studied about aging, and my topic for my context paper, they don't refer to it as thesis, reimagining seniors, unlocking the power of gerotranscendence through spirituality. In my research, I ran into my favorite person, Lars Tornstam, of blessed memory too, and he wrote the book Gerotranscendence, A Positive Theory to Aging. And I took his work and expanded his work, wrapping the theology around what he put forward. I have applied other theological writers and psychologists, including Erik Erikson. I've looked at Erik Erikson's work, Maslow's work, who added in after self-actualization transcendence. And I have expanded on these life cycles. I have looked at the work of Golden, who talked about the commercial world, where in 2022, I think her book was out, and she talks about the 65 plus is a $22 trillion US dollars market in the commercial world, because people want to live.
A lot of money, these seniors.
It's a lot, yeah. People want to live forever young, and I'm saying forever young, and what else? Hence the reason why the theology was necessary to bring to people to say, hey, you ought to know that the scriptures speak about you in your youth as well as in your elder years. And you need to ensure that having lived the first half of your life, the second half must be lived with comfort, must be lived with joy, must be lived with purpose. And so I'm inviting seniors themselves to take a look at yourself. Take a look at yourself. I'm inviting businesses to take a look at the pre-retirement programs that they do for their seniors and not just ask them, do you have enough money? Have you paid off all your medical bill and your mortgage and all of that? It is getting into the psychology, the physiological self to understand that there are things that people still have a challenge with. There are the solar ages. The solar ages, those who never had family, and so they have a fictive relationship, fictive kinship. There are those who are empty nesters. Their children are grown and gone, and some of them have died and just there by themselves. How is the church mapping these people? There are those who are maybe single parents and just live alone today and so on. So the solar ages are so important. And I mentioned earlier on about pride. Some people don't want to talk. And a lot of persons, the Bible talk about the white sepulchre in different ways. We dress and we look good on the outside, but we're carrying a lot inside here. Yeah,
But Mother
one of
Miranda,
my work.
if they don't want to talk, how do you get them to open up? What do you say? What do you do?
And that's why I have begun to do this particular workshop. It is for seniors. Like
And
one lady.
as you mentioned that, Mother Miranda, I know that this summer is gearing up to be an important one for you in Jamaica. Hey,
Oh,
why is that
yes.
so? Tell everybody, because I know.
So I want everybody to come to Jamaica. As you listen, I'm looking straight in the camera at you. To come to Jamaica, to be in Montego Bay at the Catalonia Hotel. It's a former Holiday Inn hotel. I'll be having a conference Beyond the Horizon and Beyond the Conference. And this horizon is beyond the 65, beyond the retirement. Who are you? We want to get into the blue zone of living. The Okinawa in Japan, for example, Costa Rica is a blue zone, has blue zone area where the centenarians are living beyond just the 100, they're 101, they're 102, they're 110. And how do you live like that and live much longer? So we want to begin this kind of dialogue. When it comes to seniors, it's more than just take your blood pressure, more than just take you out for coffee. Yes, more than take you for a beach trip. There is more that seniors have to offer. So my focus is on active, healthy seniors. So many persons jump over this group of persons and get to the hospital and the nursing home and so on. Care is for those, but we want to care for those who are active, healthy seniors like myself. I'm 67 years old.
Wow, congratulations, Mother. You did well.
Yes.
You keeping
So
the crease.
I'm keeping it.
Lots of
And
balls,
so
lots of fours and sixes, and No, Mother Miranda, for what date? Because I'm not sure we spoke about the date when this big conference will be taking place, Beyond the Horizons and Beyond, when that will be taking place. So what's the official date for that conference in Montego Bay?
the official date is August the 8th. So it's Independence Week. Uh, Celebrations up to up to September.
That's
The
very
celebration and the conference will be on August 8th. It will be Independence Week. Of course, August 6th is Independence Day. Lots of celebration. And
everyone should be available for that because it's only
everyone should be available for
Friday
that.
for
And so
growth.
they now come to relax a little bit at Catalonia Hotel and bask in the beauty of what the hotel has to offer. And it's going to be from 8 o'clock registration. So we kick off at 9 o'clock with the speakers and we go up to 4:30. So it's an all day. It's a For the local attendees, a day pass, so they'll have the beauty of the property. An extended lunchtime will give them that opportunity as well. And that's why we close off at 4:30, so they will have at least another hour on the property with their day pass.
Yeah, they can go and swim and frolic and all the rest of it.
Yes, they can go, yes, get a little dip and have some photographs taken on the beach, right? And then there is as well a special reservation package at the hotel for their first night. It's discounted, as well as if you want to stay 3 days. So 1 to 3 days. There is also a beautiful package that we have said is $160 US per person. But if you come in groups of 4 and more, you can get that discounted to $150 per person.
How can people get in touch with you to find out more information, to book, to send some money to you and say, hey, this is my table I'm booking? How can they do all of that? They've got their money, they listen to this interview, and they're interested now. How do they get that money to you and become a part of the event?
Eventbrite. You can go to Eventbrite to purchase your tickets. You can, if you are in Jamaica, go to Fontana Pharmacy in Montego Bay or Santa's Record Mart in Santa Cruz. That's where you will get your tickets. Now, if you need to get in touch with me, info.mirandaspeaks@gmail.com. info.mirandaspeaks@gmail.com. For the website, www.mirandaspeaks.com. Those are ways in which you can get in touch with me. You might want to call by WhatsApp. If you drop a WhatsApp, I could give you that number, 604-860-5258. And you know something, Shaun, one of the things that we're doing, we're making a financial contribution to our seniors. And some of the donations that we will receive, the more donations we have in that area, the bigger the purse that will be for some seniors who we're working to identify to give a purse. So we welcome as well. And some persons might not be able to, or put another way, some persons can make these donations to say, oh, I want to make a contribution to that. You can purchase a ticket and you just put donation, right? Or you can purchase 2 tickets or 10 tickets or 100 tickets to make that as a donation. But you indicate that that is your donation. So donate a ticket or 2, donate 5 tickets, donate 10 tickets towards a worthy cause, because Jamaicans need the support.
The support. And the conference, I would imagine that is costing a bit of money. How are you funding that?
The conference is going to be costing money. We are expecting that the commitments that have been made, that persons will follow through on those commitments. And we are also expecting, by way of donors, we're expecting that even as this interview is aired, that there will be those who really want to share in the philanthropic world to say, this is something I have earned my keep. I want to pour into this. I might not have had the support when I was younger and when I became a senior, but now I believe I can invest for those who are coming after me. And I'm expecting that as many persons.
Sorry about that.
So sponsorship, we are still open for sponsorship for the event.
And they contact you the same ways that you talked about earlier? If
they contact the same way, and because it's sponsorship, they need to get in touch with me at 604-860-5258 on WhatsApp right away. I will take that call any minute. Some of the persons that are really on my heart to recognize at this conference are the parents of icons. The parents of icons. We know about, as I use Shelley and Fraser, but who are the caregivers for Shelley and when she was growing up? I'd love to have those on the platform to showcase. What about those caregivers when Usain Bolt was growing up? And so we talk a lot about him, sending condolence to him and his family because his dad just passed. But we love to have his mother in her own right. Yes, Asafa Powell's parents, Johan Blake, and those in the education field, those who from lowly, humble beginning, they have produced the great doctors in Jamaica. Who are those parents? And so we're inviting these icons to get in touch with me as well to say, yes, I would love to have my parents there, invite their seniors in their community, and purchase a table or two just to use this as a moment where we honor our seniors and to say thank you. They might just answer a question or two, but just to have them on the platform that day and to see them and to tell them thank you in a special way.
Well, thank you too, Mother Miranda. This indeed is a conference that is necessary. It's important for everyone who can attend to be there. There's so much to learn. It's about shifting the paradigm because we've always looked at aging as the end of the road. And it's just right. You're at the edge of the cliff now, and any minute now, it will be over. But as you say, it's not quite so. People are living longer. And if you look at the human capital, they've got lots of knowledge in them, lots of wisdom, lots of ideas, lots of experience that they can share with people who might be still in the workforce. It might be in situations where they need that knowledge and those skills to be able to function effectively.
And how to work together. It's a core together. So my aim is to empower the seniors, as I said earlier, on the church and the unchurched, to live with purpose and grace, honoring their accumulated wisdom and their dignity, and for them to thrive in the second half of life with confidence, fulfillment, and age gracefully and purposefully.
And let them just look forward to life and living and loving.
Absolutely. And loving, yes, and stop beating up on them.
End of the road business. No need to think like that because we will all go one day and we go at different.
We will all go, and we just want to know that we live such a beautiful life, and we also want to know that our last words spoken were words that are not filled with regret, but filled with love and care.
And care. That is so eloquently said. What more can I say? Well, Mother Miranda, before I let you go, I always like to ask questions from this book. It's called Reggae Larger Than Life.
I need to get it. I bought the book. I should have studied it before. Let me hear your question.
Okay, well, thanks for the support. Well, it was written by myself, and it's currently available on Amazon. Also available in Jamaica at Ashby's Pharmacy, 160 Old Hope Road in Kingston, at the bookshop at the University of the West Indies, Mona campus, and also it's available at Angel's Book and Variety Store in the Angels Plaza in Spanish Town. So I've selected a question for you, Mother Miranda, to see. Oh. I know you're a lady, you've always got your nose stuck in the Bible, you know. But I mean, I would imagine you peep at other things from time to time when, you know, you're not reading the Bible.
Yes.
So I would imagine you interact with the music, you listen to what's going on. So the question I've selected says, born in 9 Miles in the Jamaican parish of St. Anne in 1945, this Buffalo soldier, which is your clue, reggae superstar, was given a Lifetime Achievement Grammy Award posthumously in the United States in February 2001. Now, who was this reggae superstar? The options are Peter Tosh, Bob Marley, Delroy Wilson, and Dennis Brown.
Bob Marley. It's Bob Marley because they gave it in his month, because that's his birth month as well.
Exactly, February 1945. There you go.
Yes.
So the question came from this book is Reggae Larger Than Life, the ultimate reggae music fun and games book. Currently available on Amazon. So anywhere in the world you are, even if you're in Canada, you can get a copy from, Amazon Canada. If you're in America, you're anywhere in Europe, anywhere, even in Jamaica, you can order a copy if you want it from Amazon. But if you're in Jamaica, you can get copies at bookshops out there. Currently available at the University of the West Indies, Mona campus, that bookshop. Also at Ashby's Pharmacy, 160 Old Hope Road in Kingston. Also available at Angel's Book and Variety Store, Angel's Plaza in Spanish Town. And I can see Mother Miranda putting up her book there, Aging Out Loud. And that's currently available on Amazon. So all you need to do, just type in Aging Out Loud. I'm not sure there's any other book there with that kind of title, because this is very...
An AGE-ING.
AGE dash or
-ING. It will be launched at the conference.
It will come up, and it will also be launched at the conference. So what's the plan for launching them, Mother Miranda? What are you going to do? Ask a few questions about it, or are you going to tell us where it came from? I mean, what's the plan for the launch?
We're going to tell the story about the book. Because it will be within, the minister will just be called upon to declare the launch official. Books will be available, and then there will be signing that I'll be doing during the breaks. Right.
Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of the Stargazing with Shaun Cain Show. Our special guest was Reverend Mother Miranda, and she's Mother Miranda Sutherland, a Jamaican Anglican priest currently serving in British Columbia in Canada. We do invite you to join us for the Stargazing with Shaun Cain Show, the musical side, every Sunday morning from 10 o'clock to 12 midday British Standard Time on Rex Radio in the UK, from the USA on Motif Radio and Viscosity Blend, and from Jamaica on Richie B Radio. Please subscribe to the Stargazing with Shaun Cain YouTube channel, like and share the videos, and leave a comment. Until next time, this is Shaun Cain saying, thanks for joining us. See you soon.
Thank you.
A nation is judged on how it treats the elderly. How can we engage more effectively at this sacred stage of life? Join us at the Beyond the Horizon and Beyond Conference, Pathways to Positive and Purposeful Aging, on Friday, August 8, 2025 at the Catalonia Hotel in Montego Bay, Jamaica. At this conference, presented by the Reverend Miranda Sutherland, a Jamaican Anglican priest currently serving in the new Westminster Diocese in British Columbia, Canada, we will discover the transformative power of Theogerotranscendence, a groundbreaking faith-based framework, reimagining aging as a process of sacred renewal, self-discovery, and spiritual growth. Educators, faith-based leaders, and health professionals will be among the distinguished presenters. Guest speaker is the Minister of Labour and Social Security, the Honourable Pernell Charles Jr. Let's take inspiration from the Beyond the Horizon and Beyond Conference, transform into action, and create lasting change. Register now at MirandaSpeaks.com or call 604-860-5258 for more information. Ticket outlets: Fontana Pharmacy, Montego Bay, and Santa's Records Mart, Santa Cruz. Tickets and hotel can also be booked online at Eventbrite. Reverend Miranda Sutherland's accompanying book, Aging Out Loud, which is currently available on Amazon, will be officially launched in Jamaica at the conference. The author will also be on hand to sign your copy.